Welcome back. Barcelona are through to the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League for the first time since 2015. That's the last time they won the competition. Piqué and Solskjaer renewing their old friendship, but Barcelona really outclassing Manchester United. United back to the drawing board, well beaten 3-0 and outclassed them, Liam. Is that fair enough?
Yes, yeah, okay. Without any doubt. The Barcelona team reminded me of the Barcelona that played for Guardiola. The players were pressing, they were brilliant in possession. You never knew what the front three were going to do. They were so inventive, so creative, and they've got the maestro and Messi. You know, he still looks like the player he was 10 years ago. It was a fantastic performance. United, back to the drawing board. They have to sort the defence out. Simply not good enough. And the defence gives you a platform to get other departments in your team right. Midfield was very, very poor as well. They hardly, well, I think doubled the possession. Barcelona had doubled the possession. United players couldn't keep hold of the ball. Pogba was very, very disappointing. And you have to say the forwards didn't get the service, although in the first 5 minutes they could have surprised Barcelona, and they probably needed to take one of those chances, which they didn't. But Barcelona, far superior.
So, Didi, well, Barcelona's superiority aside, does what we've witnessed just highlight how big a job Solskjaer has to do with this team to make them competitive in this competition again, and also how much money they're going to need to spend?
Yeah, huge. You wouldn't know where to start. Since Ferguson left, I think the net spend in the 5 years was about 450, so they would have spent 600 or 700 million quid. No disrespect to Ashley Young, he's been a very good competitor for the club. But if you spend all that money and you've got Ashley Young in a Champions League quarter-final as your captain and as your left-back, then you know there's something wrong. And I know if Shaw was fit, he would have played Shaw, and Young will probably played on the right-hand side. You wouldn't know where to start, because they've got all these defenders in Bailly, Lindelof. Nobody really does a job. So I'd say you need at least two centre-backs. Central midfield, Fred, no. Pogba, no. Who else we got? Matic. McTominay is one you've got to keep, but you've got to, you know, he's having a good spell.
You're going to build a team around him.
Well, I'm not sure, because we don't know how good he is. You know, at the moment he's doing okay, but he's doing well in a bad team. And then going forward, I think they're all talented lads. We touched on Rashford before. I think Martial is a talented player, but he doesn't show it. So there's so many areas in that team or in that squad which have to be addressed. It'll cost them a fortune. And I think Scholes came out this week. He said he doesn't think they will win the league next year in the next few years. I think over the next 3 to 5 years, I think it'll be very tough for them to be competitive with Liverpool and Manchester City.
And I know, look, it's easy to be wise after the fact, Kevin, but, you know, giving Solskjaer the job when they did, like, since they've given him the job, the results have been pretty poor.
Yeah, listen, it's hard to blame him when you're looking at the squad he's been left with. They probably should have done what they planned all along. Everyone got carried away with the PSG result, but they said we're going to keep him till the summer and see from there. They've probably rushed into a little bit on the excitement of beating that PSG team that night and giving them the job. But he did get a turnaround. He did get them playing well. But listen, when you go through, and we've just spoken, went through all the players, he can't perform miracles. They're not as strong a squad as the top 4 or 5 teams in England. He has a lot of work to cut out. A lot of work to do this summer. Where do you start? Start the back, start in midfield, start up front?
The manager is essentially a coach. It's the infrastructure of the football club that has to go into gear now.
Well, they've no director of football.
Well, they've no director of football, but they've got Ed Woodward, who's the chief executive, and he's responsible for recruiting the players. And they haven't recruited the right players down through the last few seasons. As Didi said, they spent something like £700 million, and they're still way off Manchester City and way off Liverpool as things look now. So I feel a bit sorry for Solskjaer. I think he deserved the job in the first place. I think any manager coming in there won't be able to put that team right. Any top-class coach won't be able to put it right. It's the transfer market that's going to put it right. And that's not down to the manager. The manager is not the one who goes and gets the players. He'll probably say, get me A, B, C, D, and it's up to the club to get them, and they haven't really done that.
Well, supposedly Mourinho did that last season, and it didn't work out. And again, the
Mourinho
players that they get rid of, but
Mourinho
the players
had his chance
indeed. But for now,
Mourinho spent a lot of money on players, and we've seen quite a few of them playing there now.
But for now, Usher 50, 60 million. But Lindelof hasn't been bad in the last few weeks, in fairness to him. But like the players now that they have to get rid of, they've got to get rid of a lot of players now.
Yeah, like that's a job in itself.
That's the first thing. Yeah. What about well, Coutinho? It's interesting. His reaction afterwards, I'm sure, will be commented on in Barcelona tomorrow. A brilliant goal, Kevin, and this guy supposedly could be on his way in the summer.
Yeah, fantastic goal. Messi, great ball into Alba, who overlapped all night long. Was probably their best player, and Coutinho. You know, we've seen it do it a million times at Liverpool. Messi again, central to everything. Alba was like a left winger all night, and Coutinho cuts inside. You know, Smalling shouldn't be showing him in on his right. So far off him, first of all, but showing him in on his right foot, keep him on his left. You would have seen him do that for years for Liverpool, and it's a fantastic goal. He has been under a bit of pressure at Barcelona. The fans have been on his back a bit, and you see it there. You know, he doesn't need to be doing that. He should be
Kevin pointed out something very pertinent there. He shouldn't be showing him in on his right foot. If he's a top-class defender, he knows that's what Coutinho wants to do. Show him on his left foot. Give him a problem. That's how poor these United defenders are.
And what about the goalkeeper there, guys? Was it just a brilliant strike, or was De Gea too far off his line?
Well, if you see where the ball goes in from behind Coutinho, it doesn't look right. I wouldn't say it's his fault, but I certainly would say he should have been closer, should have done better. Maybe he was caught a little bit by surprise, because I think he reacts a little bit late, or he didn't get off the ground as much as he should have done, because the ball goes in, almost a yard and a half next to the post, and I think a keeper of De Gea's quality probably should have done better.
OK, we're nearly out of time. Let's look at Messi, and you know what an amazing game. Of course, this year he's the captain's armband. His performance this evening, lads.
Mesmerising.
Good word.
Yeah, he was outstanding again. This is a great skill. Roll the ball through somebody's legs is a way of beating a player that's probably not highlighted enough. And he's so strong as well. He's worked so hard to get the ball back. Now you see it, now you don't. It's brilliant. This is him holding Jones off. Alba was, as Kevin pointed out, was terrific all night. And Roberto should have scored here. Another great move, inspired by Messi. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's hard to come up with any more that hasn't been said about him the last 10 or 15 years. I just read a stat before the game that himself and Ronaldo combined have more goals than Manchester United and Liverpool combined in the Champions League since 2010. It's unbelievable. You keep thinking they're getting a bit old, they're getting to the end, and they keep coming back and doing it again. 40 goals and 43 appearances this season. It's just unbelievable. And Ronaldo, well, his Juventus team have gone out of the competition tonight. Ajax beat them 2-1 in Turin to go through 3-2 on aggregate. That's it from us.